What the hell is going on here? What are we doing exactly? Now we're spending our time living in fear of trucking companies because they might do something to us if we say the wrong thing. Is that what I am to gather from what I'm hearing lately? Sounds like we got a lot to talk about, huh? Yeah, there's a lot going on. These big, scary trucking companies are intimidating us into keeping our mouths shut. Apparently, it's not working on me, but apparently it's working on some other people. So we got to talk about that. So yeah, big topic today. Big, scary trucking companies. Boy, that's crazy. So anyways, as always, before I get into that, I got a few people to thank for super thanks on the last video. So first of all, we want to thank Charles for the $2. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you. And then we've got, this name always makes me laugh every time, Pols Potts Pie Hole. Pols Potts Pie Hole with $5 on the last video. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. And then Steven with $10. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate your support. And of course, I appreciate everyone's support that watches the videos and likes and comments and subscribes. Speaking of subscribing, we're almost there, guys. We're almost to that 10,000 subscriber mark that I've been begging you. Please just get me there so I can shut up about it. And we need just a little over 500 subscribers, I think, till we hit that mark. So if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, for some reason, I think everyone's seen my videos. How could this possibly be the first time? I don't know, but go ahead and smash the button for, oh, I just said smash the button. Someone unsubscribe for that. Someone unsubscribe because I said that. Smash the button. I'm not editing it out. Make fun of me. Anyways, push the goddamn button so I can shut up about it. Not the unsubscribe one. I can't believe I just said smash the subscribe button. I'm ashamed of myself, my friends. I should be. I should feel bad for that. So anyways, we'll try to move past that. I'll be thinking about it in the back of my head through the entire video, and probably sometime next week I'll wake up doing my normal morning anxiety thing that I do, where I hide under the blanket for an hour going, oh my god, the world's coming to get me, and I'll be thinking about that particular minute. Oh my god, what do all my viewers think of me because I said smash the subscribe button? They probably all hate me. You guys probably all hate me now, and that's the kind of stuff I do while I sit alone in my truck. It's my fucking hobby. It's what I enjoy doing, okay? Anyways, we got a lot going on, and we got to talk about it. So I did a video recently on let's say slightly shady trucking company. I don't know if I'm allowed to say their name. It might slip out of my mouth through the video. But you know, this slightly shady trucking company is always getting videos made about them all the time, and the reason is because they do corrupt, crooked shit, and people call them out on it on the internet. I'm not the first person to come up with this. It was not an original video idea whatsoever, but I did take an interesting spin on it, where I was paranoid in my truck that a trucking company was plotting to kill me because they wanted me to go to their office and meet them in person. Now, do I really think that's what's happening? No, obviously not. I think I'm funny. Believe it or not, I think I'm kind of hilarious sometimes. So I thought it would be funny to take that spin on it and be like, yeah, so they want me to go meet them in their office. You guys will probably never see me again. They're definitely planning to end this guy trucks over here, which was supposed to be the joke of the video. My own mother texted me and said, are you okay? Are you safe out there? I said, Mom, I was just playing. I promise I was just messing around. So sorry, Mom, didn't mean to do all that, but I'm still alive. They haven't found me yet, and I'm sure they have the resources to do so. But after I recorded that video, I noticed a slight disturbing trend in the comment section. Like I do, you guys know how I still read my comment section, even though you guys keep telling me not to in the comment section. That doesn't make much sense now, does it? Now does it? And there was a few comments in there that had me a little bit suspicious. I was wondering if it was sort of a warning shot from the ownership of that company, but it probably wasn't. Remember, I said I get real paranoid in the truck all by myself and start thinking stuff. You know, actually, the night that I put that video out, I heard a noise outside my truck. I didn't get to sleep for like 3 hours. I was out peeking out the windows and everything going, oh, fuck, they found me. Here we go. Here we go. Anyways, a couple sort of warnings, you know, hey, Josh, you got to be careful. This company has the ability to make people disappear, and that sounds fun to me. I'm kind of tired of appearing. So if we could disappear, that might be kind of cool. I've had a good run, my friends. It doesn't sound like the worst thing that could ever happen. But anyways, you know, there were a few comments like that. And, you know, the owner, he's got a record. He does things like this, and they're very well connected, and you need to be careful about what you say. Well, I had to sit and wonder about that for a while. Is this one of those internet myths just gone wild? Like, oh, you don't want to cross that trucking company because they'll make you disappear. And that's kind of funny. I kind of enjoy that. That's, yeah, I get it. I get why you would say that. Or is there some reality behind it? Do I really need to be concerned because I said, hey, this trucking company might not be doing shit the right way and they're part of the fucking problem in trucking? Do I really need to be concerned with all this? And I think I had a few other ideas too, but I don't really remember what was going on. But it was kind of cool because then I started seeing other videos pop up about the same company, which they always do. I'm not saying I'm a trendsetter or anything and caused people to go make those videos. It was maybe YouTube was just showing me those videos because I just put one out just like it. But there's really not a whole lot of inconsistencies in what I've heard and what ex and current drivers of that company continue to say. There's one guy that swears by it, whatever. He's making a lot of money over there. Good for him. I think that's great. We don't know. We could tie a conspiracy theory to that if we want to and say, well, maybe he's just paid off for the company to make these really good videos. And hey, if they want to pay me off too, I can make some really good videos also. How much money are we talking about here? I'll buy this truck. Is it enough to buy this truck? Because we could do business. I'm not going to act like we can't. But anyways, what was I trying to fucking say? Anyways, I got a few warnings that I need to keep my damn mouth shut about this company. And it got me to thinking, which is never a good fucking thing. But I started thinking about what I was hearing, right? I simply, even if this is true, I simply do not believe this trucking company has the resources to make every YouTube trucker that said a negative thing about them disappear. They just simply don't. It's a numbers game, right? Some of us, we might have to sacrifice a few of us, right? That's just the way it goes, you know? The weakest ones in the flock, they'll get taken first. Might be me, I don't fucking know. I'm not saying I'm stronger than anyone. What I'm saying is, you know, if we have to sacrifice a few for the greater good of the trucking industry, then I guess that's just the fucking way it goes. But I don't think they have the resources to take us all out. I think we're gonna be just fine, my friends. But if I'm being honest with you, I think if anything, it's more of one of those things that kind of truckers do. And in trucking, if in case you're not a trucker, we have stories, fables that get passed down from generation to generation of truckers. Oh God, what's one of the more common ones that everyone's heard, but everybody insists that they saw it themselves? It's a story about two Middle Eastern team truck drivers. They travel down the road and their truck never stops. Sounds spooky, doesn't it? The truck's always rolling. It's not as spooky as you would think it is. It's actually pretty gross. Apparently everybody's seen it, but nobody's seen it all at the same time. They drill a hole in their floor and then they run a hose through that so they can take a shit while they're driving down the road, and then just shit sprays all over the road, right? Everybody's seen it happen, but nobody has also seen it happen. It's one of those kind of stories, if that makes any fucking sense, right? We've got stories like that go back for years, and they're not even fun. They're not even interesting. Can we get like more ghost trucks out here or some like supernatural paranormal shit, like instead of how guys take a dump? I don't like that story. It's not very heartwarming, if I'm being completely fucking honest with you. I don't care much for that story. But is this another, it's just like the mystique about it, like, oh, these are, I think Serbian, allegedly Serbian. Is it like the Serbian mystique? They're all assassins, they're all killers, right? And maybe, they might fucking be. But what I do know is it's really hard to get away with killing these days. It's a really tough thing to do. And I don't think, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm setting myself up to be killed right now. I don't really fucking know. Like I said, I had a good run. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Well, you guys will. I'll be dead, so I won't be crossing any fucking bridges, I guess. I don't know. I've never been dead. I don't know how it works. But it's just sort of like the mystique of the whole thing. Like, oh, these guys are real scary because they got real intimidating accents. It sounds like they're always yelling at you, and they're just like, they think they're just having a conversation. You're like, oh, why is that motherfucker yelling at me like that? I don't really fucking know. Or is there truth to this? I don't know. Do we have any trucking YouTubers that made a video about them and ended up never coming back? If I never come back, it's mysterious circumstances. Maybe, most likely. Unless you guys watch me have like another meltdown on YouTube that lasts for like 6 months where I just spiral out of control and then I put out a video where I'm crying and I'm like, I'm fucking deleting YouTube. Because that's happened before and it could happen again. You just never know with me. I'm pretty unpredictable. Well, I'm pretty predictable. You'll see the signs, right? If you don't see the signs and one day I just stop uploading videos, it was mysterious and needs to be investigated, okay? If it was due to a downward spiral in my own mental illnesses, well, we all saw that coming. But if I just disappear tomorrow, you might check on that. But it's really hard to get away with just killing motherfuckers out there is what I'm trying to say. There's cameras everywhere. It's the forensics are really good. Kind of keeps us all in line these days, doesn't it? We can't even serial kill anymore, and that's a real bummer now, isn't it? Fuck, I probably got this video to monetize too. They've been getting my ass here on YouTube. They go, maybe you don't need as much ad revenue on this video, because last time I started talking about some crazy shit, I was off the rails in the last video, and I deserved it. I deserve for them to put the little yellow limited monetization sign on that video. I didn't even try to dispute it. I said, yeah, I deserve that. You're right. I can't even argue with you on that one, YouTube. I went back and disputed a few. Don't worry, I'm getting back to the fucking point. I went back and disputed a few that I didn't think were really that bad, and I won, and those videos are remonetized. But the last one, I didn't even try. I said, yeah, you kind of got my ass on this one, YouTube. I can't even argue with that. Anyways, so there's a second part to this video that I want to discuss now, and that is what's wrong with trucking. Right now, here's where we get to the serious part of the video, because everybody wants to point the finger, and I did bring this up in the video about this mysterious company I don't want to say the name of because I don't want to be swimming with the fishes, all right? Anyways, what's wrong with trucking? You're the problem with trucking, right? We always hear what the problem is with trucking, and we never actually hear what the problem is with trucking. Let me explain. We always hear stuff like, it's those governed trucks, that's the problem with trucking. It's the trucks aren't built like they used to be, that's the problem with trucking. ELDs, those are the problem with trucking. The DOT, that's the problem with trucking. The list goes on and on. We've gone all the way down to worrying about what kind of footwear other men wear. That's the problem with trucking. Like, if you can't contain yourself at the sight of another man's toes, maybe it's you with the issue. I'm not really sure. You don't have to sexualize everything out there, you weirdo. You fucking creep. But yeah, we're men's footwear. That's the problem with trucking. Obviously, hasn't that always been obvious to you guys? The shoes they're wearing, that's the problem. And I brought up the point in the last video. I don't think any of that is what caused trucking to be the steaming pile of shit that it is right now. And what I actually think it is, try to hear me out on this one, because I'm not always out of my fucking mind. There's actually some fucking thought in it. I don't think any of that shit is the problem with trucking. Do you know what I think is the problem with trucking? The fucking corruption that exists in trucking that runs rampant through this fucking industry, and nobody seems to do nothing about it, right? I had heard there was like some FMCSA was gonna look into some shit, but as far as I know, FMCSA is one of those fables we hear about, like the Middle Eastern guy shitting in a tube out the bottom of their truck. I've only heard of the FMCSA. I ain't seen the FMCSA do a damn thing. They wrote a book once that, well, we call it the Trucker's Bible. You know why we call it the Trucker's Bible? Because it's very similar to the real Bible. Everyone has one. Nobody's read the fucking thing. So what do you... I've been using that joke for years, and I never get tired of that one. Anyways, other than that, the FMCSA investigation, that's real fucking frightening. An unknown entity that no one's ever seen is on the case, guys. We're going to get to the bottom of this shit right now. The spooky FMCSA. But I gotta say, it is the fucking corruption in trucking. One other thing that people say is the problem in trucking. They go, the mega carrier is the problem in trucking. Maybe problematic, let's say. Problematic. But what a lot of people get mad about the mega carriers about aren't really realistic in my opinion. They say, well, they're over there hauling that cheap Target freight and now we can't get good rates. You were never ever, as a single truck owner operator, even 10 trucks, you were probably never ever in consideration for that Target account to begin with. You had to be a mega carrier to even have that account. You were never in the running for it. So don't flatter yourself. I'm not trying to be a dick, but you were never in that to begin with. And the mega carriers do take some freight off the spot market. It's sort of, let's just get this truck moved to where we have freight type of thing. Of course they do. Of course they do. But for the most part, they're way too fucking busy with their customers, their dedicated freight, to be even concerned with like the spot market and shit. And I'm not saying they don't, okay? I obviously don't have the numbers. I'm not saying they don't. But who does fuck with the spot market? Well, for one, this mystery company we can't say the name of. That's their bread and butter. That's their sole operation, is running off the fucking spot market. That's where we, if our goal is to be an independent owner operator, you know, your own MC and all that stuff, that's where we want to be, right? I would think. I don't think that we're all trying to figure out how to get 500 trucks and 8,000 trailers so that we can go get that Target account. Most of us probably aren't that ambitious, and that's not saying anything negative. That's just saying it's a lot of fucking work, right? So the spot market kind of is there. Who's really fucking that up? For us, the little guy. The corrupt trucking companies, the ones that don't want to play by the rules, you know, the ones that will clear out your logbook so you can just keep on driving. Oh, now that one driver, he's good for 2 to 3 times as many loads as us, the one driver, because we can just keep clearing out those logbooks. And you know what happens when you get too much capacity in the freight market is rates drop. This is the thing I've been talking about for years, and I'm right about it. You can't argue with it, all right? Be mad, you can be mad, but you can't argue with it. You're allowed to be mad. I'm not going to tell you can't have feelings. That would be crazy. But people always said ELDs killed trucking. ELDs caused rates and wages, most importantly, to increase almost overnight because capacity suddenly left the market. Now when you've got companies that are cheating and manipulating and not following the rules, they are increasing their capacity without increasing the amount of trucks they have at all. And to me, that sounds like the real fucking problem. Am I crazy? It doesn't sound to me like all this other shit we're bitching about is the problem. It sounds like the motherfuckers that just do whatever they want and just skirt the rules may be what's causing us, the drivers, to have a lot of problems. So why am I even talking about it? Because we're all getting fucked. That's why we're all getting fucked. And if, you know, if I gotta get, I'm sure that's a fucking sentence somewhere, I don't really know, but I mean, if I gotta get taken out over it, well, the videos will still remain. Like, I mean, my legacy will still be here, you know, if they come and take me the fuck out, and that's the point. You gotta speak the fuck up about the real problems. Speak to the real problems. Don't speak to the shit that you're just grumpy about, because that doesn't solve anything. Speak to the real fucking problems and understand that fucking it's these motherfuckers that are fucking everything up. So that's why towards the end of last video, I didn't feel bad anymore. Like, I don't go out there to like bully trucking companies and pick on them. I'll make fun of Prime. I'll make fun of Swift while I'm working at Swift. But like, to actually say like negative things that thousands and thousands of people have reinforced and said that they've experienced it, that's a fucking problem. You understand? That's a fucking problem. And you speak up, you know, when you see something wrong, and that's how the word gets out there, and people start to figure out what the fuck is happening. And fellow truck drivers, because this mysterious company takes very new drivers, right? I think only at 4 months experience. They may not even be aware that these aren't the right practices. I mean, I don't know if they were sleeping through trucking school. I don't fucking know. I guess there's a little bit of room to plead ignorance there. But they might not even be aware that they're fucking over their fellow truck driver out here by doing things that are not legal, by doing things that are not ethical. And if you speak about it, then maybe people know about it, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. They're not going to come kill us. I doubt they're going to come kill us. That would be fucking crazy if they just started killing all the YouTubers that said negative things about them. And that's a lot of killing. That's tens of thousands of people must die to end this whole thing. And I don't think that anybody's got those kind of resources without it like turning into an all-out war at that point. And I don't mean like how do I mean to say that? You know, if somebody just starts gunning down tens of thousands of American truckers, that starts to look like a war type of thing. Like, why are they attacking Americans in mass numbers? It's a whole mess, is what I'm fucking trying to tell you. And probably, I'm not making any guarantees here, but probably no one's getting killed. No one's getting killed. But these ways they do business affect our lives, affect our livelihood. And it's all done to line the pockets of the few owners at the top of these very few companies. Fuck them. What, do we have any interest in them keeping their money at the expense of ours? I mean, look at the fucking situation we're in as over-the-road truckers right now. Fucking, we're taking it up the ass. Well, we're supposed to just stand aside, shut our fucking mouths, and not just point and say, look over there at the bullshit they're doing. Say it. What the fuck's gonna happen? Nothing. I probably won't get killed. I probably won't get killed. But there's right and wrong in this world, right? If we all have to play by the rules, if it's all federally mandated and we all have to do it that way, and you see or hear that somebody isn't doing it that way, and it continues to go on, right? It continues to go on. You're telling me the government doesn't know about that? Now I'm getting into some conspiracy theory shit. I didn't even make a tinfoil hat. Oh, I said tinfoil. Fuck. Somebody corrected me on that once. They said, actually, Josh, it's aluminum. Tinfoil is the term we all use. Who gives a fuck? Anyways, it's just kind of alarming that it continues to go on and everybody knows at this point and nothing happens. I give a fuck less if the ownership of that company or any company like it ends up flat fucking broke. It doesn't matter to me. Were they worried about me when they were artificially driving down fucking freight rates and I was losing my shit over here having to sell my truck because I couldn't keep it on the road anymore? Did they stop and go, you know, maybe we shouldn't be doing this? No, they kept going. They kept clearing out the logbooks and saying, hey, you can still run another 70 hours to their drivers. And while the rest of us got fucked. I'm supposed to give a damn that now they're having a hard time, and they are having a hard time. You know how I know they're having a hard time? I know for a fact I'm not the only person on YouTube they've reached out to, oh, we got to talk to you. We got to try to smooth this over so we can figure it out. Why would you reach out to me? I'm just a guy that talks shit on the internet. Oh, you want me to fix your image now because too many people understand what it is you're doing and you're having a hard time getting drivers. Isn't that fucking tragic? Jeez, that's fucking sad. I hope you find a way. I hope you find a way to keep drivers because that matters to me, what's going on over there when I didn't matter to you when you were taking all us little guys out. When you were taking all us little guys out, now I'm supposed to give a fuck. I don't think I will. I don't think I will. And there's nothing that like anyone can do about that. There's just not. I mean, what is there? Look, I'm repeating what I heard on the internet. Well, I'm not allowed to do that. I heard it on an interview video just yesterday. Oh yeah, you just call the number and you clear out the logbooks. One guy, oh God, this pissed me off. He said he was like a 30-year driver. I don't know how old this video is. He was like a 30-year driver, and he talked about how because he's older now, he doesn't like not necessarily like that they have a number you can call to clear out the logbooks. He's like, now that I'm older, I don't like it. He said, but if I was younger, this would have been the perfect situation for me. No, knucklehead, it's not the perfect fucking situation. If we all don't play by the rules that the government mandated, then we are fucking over our fellow drivers out here by lowering the rates artificially, by increasing capacity without adding another truck. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe this is all just madness. Maybe I'm all just fucking crazy, but I've been thinking about it for the last couple days. I really have. And I just cannot bring myself to give a fuck that a company or multiple companies that have just decided they weren't going to play by the rules are suddenly scrambling now to get the attention of every YouTuber out there so that we can talk to them and try to clean up their image. You had the choice to do it right from the beginning. What the fuck does anyone else have to do with this? You thought that people weren't going to go to the internet and tell everybody how your operation works? Of course they were. It's social media. That's how the fuck this shit works. And it's good. It's good because it keeps these shithead companies in check. And they're in check. In my full opinion right now, they're in check right now. I will not be surprised if in the next couple months, worst case scenario, it comes out that they are following the rules and they're not fucking manipulating the logbooks anymore. And everybody can agree with that. Everybody goes, hey, yeah, that's not happening. They stopped doing it. Good. Only one step left. Now start paying your fucking drivers instead of keeping all their money. I mean, this isn't that fucking hard. Bye now.